The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
They hail from around the globe, and though separated by oceans, they gather in the virtual world for reasons as varied as their locales. Whether it's a defending champion looking to retain his title, a new and eager hopeful striving for recognition, or a legend prepared to recapture past glory, in the end, the one goal they all share is to win. But when naming a victor, only one driver's name can be etched into the record books. You're watching the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour.
Since last week for the season opener at Spa, the GSRC dirigible has puttered its way through a Belgian sky 170 kilometers eastward and now finds itself floating above Circuit Zolder, which today plays host to round 2 of 10 on the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour Season 12 schedule. This quarter-hour streamy award-worthy pre-race show will count us down to when the lights go off and the field of MX-5 smoke away from a standing start, beginning the first of a scheduled 25 laps. So bring cyberspace into your place. Grab a cup of mayonnaise to dip your french fries in, crack open a Yazoo, put the Lazy Boy recliner to good use, and enjoy the simulated road course excitement that will be streaming your way. Once again, bonjour everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Subzon. With me, as always, to call the action once more and to break the record for combined GSRC commentator age is Richard Losper. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, our director Joe Peak, and at his disposal the camera location provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. If you weren't with us last time from Spa, the events played out more like a season of The Walking Dead than the opening round of a series that prides itself on clean racing. One by one, a fan favorite met their demise. It started off peaceful enough, with the Hungarian Thomas Zabel leading 38 other drivers off the starting grid. The tranquility came to an end when Patrick Fliss put his car between Robert Hartley and Mika Eshouse at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Eshouse got the worst of it in the 3-wide situation and became the first main character to exit the plot. Viewers didn't have time to grow attached to Tom Ratchey. At the end of lap 1, Michael Van Dyke punted the Bay State Hammer into Uris Jelenko and Robert Hartley. After falling way back, Ratchey was able to salvage a 17th. When the pit window opened, while heading what we think into the pits, Zabel tried to pit across the track in front of Fliss. They hit, and just like that, the cast of characters grew 2 drivers smaller. It was so long for Gene Fittis when he tried to come across the nose of Amjad Yaman, leaving Dr. Ramjet to fight it out with Sonny Ketchen. On the final lap, the 2 most recent champions swapped the lead several times, with Yaman winning the drag race out of the bus stop for the victory. Richard, Spa has such a great flow to it, I'm not so sure Zolder can claim the same.
Well, good day to you, Bill, and good day to all our viewers, wherever you may be. Well, I have a few choice words for Zolder, but none of them can be said on air. So I will just say that I and a number of the drivers I've interviewed before the race are not fans of this other Belgian track. Well, let's have a quick look at this track. It is a 2.492 mile track, so roughly 2.5 miles, 4.011 kilometers. 10 turns, so not a lot of turns that the drivers have to negotiate. But, as you said, Bill, this track has no flow, and that's my opinion as well. And it seems hell-bent on slowing cars down rather than allowing any racing to take place. And that's a large part of why people do not like this track very much. I'll have more to say on this later, but for now, let us look at a lap guide so that everyone can get a sense of what it is like in an MX-5 around this track.
Alright, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC MX-5, so let's do a lap around Zolder. Coming down to turn 1, the downhill nature makes it tricky to hit the apex. At the same time, the car will want to come around, so fast laps will be all about walking that tightrope at the edge of adhesion and being smooth. Quickly, you'll have to transition across the track to get ready for 2. Be careful how far you track out, because the tall sausage curbs on the outside can really mess with the car. 3 is just going to be an extension of 2, so let the car drift out until you're lined up for 4. Turn 4 will be extremely important. It's a fairly fast corner, but at the same time, it leads onto the backstretch where you'll be flat to the floor for quite a while. Carrying your speed to keep from giving your opponent an opportunity to pass will be critical in the race. That's because the first chicane tends to be a very popular overtaking spot. If you hit it right, you'll clobber the first curb and be able to straight line the second half to give yourself a really good run. Now we head up and over the crest and around 6 where the ideal line is to hug the left side. This leads us to the second chicane, which is much trickier and probably the most frustrating. It's got 3 apexes, but the last one is the most important, so you want to line it up so that you have the widest entry into it. If you get it just right, you'll be fully on the power through that and turn 7. Now it's up and over the hump where the track gently bends off to the left. Then from there, you'll get hard on the brakes for 8. This is another place where you can expect lots of passes to happen, especially since it'll be easier than the chicanes to make it clean. Like most hairpins, late apex in it will serve you much better. From here, the track does just a bit of a weave through 9, but then you'll hold to the right and prepare for the final chicane. In the alternate layout, it's way faster. Just a light brush on the brakes on entry, careen it through each apex, and try to power your way through to really keep the momentum going. If you hit it right, you'll come flying across the line to finish a lap around Zolder.
And there's Joe Peak taking us a lap around Zolder. That was a recorded lap. But to get an idea of what the conditions are like out there right now, let's see if we can get a hold of Richard Cortland, I believe is our comment. Oh, it's Eric Kuhlman. Sorry, we have the wrong guy. Eric Kuhlman. Eric Kuhlman racing in the, let's see if we can find what car he's in right now. Eric Kuhlman in the number 81 machine. Eric, you have a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, how's it feel out there? What's going to take for you to have a good time today?
Actually, just having a clean race will be enough.
There you go, Richard.
Hey Eric, this is Richard Losper here. So I've interviewed a number of people that are going to race here tonight and asked them how they like the track. It seems the opinion was quite divided and kind of dependent on whether you live nearby in Europe or not. What's your opinion of the track, and also what do you think about the weather? We've got overcast 18 degrees on track at the moment.
Actually, I prefer a little bit of cold weather. It gives you a little bit more grip. I like that. And of course, I like the track. I'm living right next to it. Well, actually not next to it, country next to it. So yeah, I like the track. I like the weather. I like it all.
There you have it, Bill. I told you, if you live near the track, you're going to like it.
Cool, there you go. Well, that was a lot of Netherlands guys up there that are familiar with this track. And of course, that interview was brought to you by Six Sideways, a full-service motorsports company based in Sebring, Florida, which currently competes in the SCAA Pro Racing Battery Tender Mazda MX-5 Cup Championship. My goodness, that's a mouthful. Contact them with your motorsports needs at sixsideways.com. Six Sideways, measure your life in milliseconds. Now, as we say goodbye to Eric, and thanks for that pre-race interview to Eric, we wish him the best of luck. Let's go ahead and take a look at the driver championships now. Now, unlike most series, looking at the driver standings for round 2 is not just reading the finishing order from round 1. That's because the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour is famous for its scoring system. Sure, Yaman and Ketchum are 1-2. That's to be expected. But despite a 6th place finish at Spa, Robert Hartley sits 3rd thanks to his mile per incident and qualifying bonus points. As the season progresses, the bonus points carry less weight, but even at only 25% of their ultimate worth that is being used right now early on, they are still enough to put the South Carolina driver who finished ahead of him at Spa, much as drivers like Eric Garcia, Marlo Lawson, and Travis Swenke ahead of those guys. A second Aussie on the chart, along with Katchen, is Gene Fittis, just ahead of Szabo. Now, Italy has Marcelo Pijan just ahead of Carlos Torres, hailing from Colombia. Now, let's quickly look at the nuts and bolts of this series and what it all means and what's in store for us coming up. Richard?
Radio. So, let's have a look. So, schedule round 2 of 10 is what we're busy with here. There are 3 drop races. Compensations which are 90%. So
yeah, they get 3 compensations. The first one, 90% of their average, then 75 and 50.
Yep, correct. And 50 of a driver's average result. And of course, our car is the fabulous MX-5 2016 version. The setups are open, 30% fuel today, which means 1 stop as always in a 45-minute race. Qualifying was 2 laps, has taken place a little while ago. It's a lone qualify, and the quick 6 gimmick is in play. The top 6 drivers are inverse gridded based on their average finish through the season. So that's their finish bill, not necessarily where they finished in qualifying.
That's correct.
Okay, let's get...
And now let's go ahead. We'll take a look at the grid. We'll talk about the quick 6. Let's go ahead and bring it up right now. Now, whoops. That must be the wrong chart there. There's our quick 6 right there. Now, you see, sitting on the pole is Patrick Fliss. He happened to be your fastest qualifier today, so everything worked out well for him. He had a horrible result at Spa. That's why he's going to be up there. But right side of him, your 4th fastest qualifier, and that's Gene Fittis. Then back, you look at the second row. That's going to be made up of Travis Swenke and Eric Garcia. Then the back row is Sonny Ketchen, who qualified 2nd fastest, but because of his good result at Spa, he's going to be way back there. And then, welcome back to the series, Sergio Mora. He's only raced twice in the last 2 seasons, none last season. Qualified 3rd, is going to start outside of row 3 and 6. Let's look at the next group for Richard.
Okay, and we have in row 4, on the outside, we've got David Hampton and Robert Hartley. Then we go to row 5 with Michelle van Dijk, who also likes this track apparently, and Tom Rache, who had a horrible race last week. They are followed by Roy Visser and Billy Bob Wright in row 6. And row 7, Bill, is none other than Eric Nannings and Joseph Arrow.
Then we're going to go look at the next 8, starting with the row 8 there on the inside. Peter Balassa, a veteran of the series, making his, looks like his 22nd start today. Good for him. Jerome Yonkers, a newcomer. He's had 1 start, making his first start today. I think this is his first race in the series. Row 9 is going to be made up of Scott Lang, and that's not correct with 71 starts, so we'll have to check the scoring there. Those are all incorrect. Jeroen Ursum, a veteran of the series, is going to be starting outside of row 9. Nice to have these stats. It'd be nice if they were actually accurate. Row 10, Eric Corman, a rookie. I know that much, going to be starting back there in row 10. Outside of him, Benjamin Nelson. Then we go down to row 11. That's, hey, welcome back. 2-time champion Richard Losberg going to be starting way in the back in row 11, and Richard Eklund. Sorry, my partner Richard Losberg is not going to be racing today. And then it's Derek Holland outside of row 11. Richard, the final 8?
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for mentioning my name. I would like to be noted as a past champion, but that is not the case. We were talking about Richard Eklund. So moving on to row number 12, we have Joe McDonald and Rolf Just. Then in row 13, it's Al Heaton and Richard Cortland. Now, row 14, wow. Tomas Szabo and Amjad Yaman, who won last week's race, way back there. And the last row, Bill, as they are gridding now, row number 15, we've got Tuan Tran and Liva Bote.
And let's go trackside. And now, for the most famous words in sim racing, here is your Grand Marshal and principal owner of Mama Jean Racing, Jean Vivian.
Drivers, grid your race cars. Go, drivers.
Okay, the drivers have taken their grid. Keep an eye on Patrick Fliss up there in the pole position. Just gridding his car right now is Gene Fittis. The lights are up. You can hear the engine start to harmonize. 30 drivers on the grid for round 2. Oh no, it looks like our pole sitter might have jumped the gun. I saw him smoke his tires. We'll have to watch to see if Fliss is going to get a black flag for jumping the start. Moving into second is Fittis. Dropping into third, now losing a lot of positions. That's Garcia being very cautious. On the outside is Schwenke. Garcia now, as they go 3 wide, careful as they work around this right-hander that's going to go into turn 4. Garcia on the outside there, very close to that blue car underneath them. That's Sergio Mora in the number 99 machine. It looks like Mora's going to get the best of it. Richard, how does it look back in the pack?
Oh, we have an accident already back here, right at the rear of the field. We'll have to get that on
It looks
replay.
like it was Derek Holland involved in it. Also caught in it is the newcomer Eric Corman.
Yes, it was. I was watching Amjad Yaman making his way up there. They tried to go 4 wide into that right there. And I see another car at the rear there, just on the outside of the track. So already we have a lot of attrition. I was trying to follow Amjad Yaman, who's now coming into the second chicane. They brake very hard there, so he's making his way forward. But already, as we noted, attrition has taken its toll, and I see another car going slowly. It looks as if that's Schwenke going slowly as they head down towards the third chicane.
Leaders have worked their way around the third chicane. Now keep in mind, we're going to keep an eye on Fliss and see he's gone past the pit. Oh no, is he coming in? Fliss is coming into the pit lane. He had to make that stop. He jumped the gun. Oh my goodness, for a veteran. Richard, how can that happen? How does your foot slide off the clutch? How do you just get too excited?
And we have another car off track there that was up near the front. The attrition is unbelievable. Meanwhile, Amjad Yaman is making his way forward. Go ahead.
LeVar Boutet was involved in that. It looked like he got turned around and then maybe bumped by Scott Lang.
Wow. The attrition is incredible, but Bill, I have to say I expected it on this track. This track is a tough track to negotiate, and I'm still driving at the back here with Amjad Yaman, who's moving forward at a great rate of knots. Let's go a little forward now, and I'll answer your question about Patrick Fliss in a moment. At the moment, it looks as if Gene Fittis is leading.
Garcia gets a slowdown penalty, was running in third, going to lose 2 spots to Ketchen and Hartley. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, and there was some more attrition going on. Gene Fittis currently leading this race. Rookie Gene Fittis in about his 3rd race of this championship is in front, followed by Sergio Mura at the moment, and then we have Sonny Canton, looks like in 3rd position at this point in time. But yeah, with Patrick Fliss, that was just trying to anticipate when the green would come, Bill, and getting ready to have the best possible start. He got the worst possible start, unfortunately.
There's your look at that long shot down as they go into the chicane. Hampson has just got around Van Dyke. Hampson now moves up into, I believe that's going to be 5th position for him.
Yep. So our leader at the moment is Gene Fittis.
Another call in the wall. Patrick Fliss has just lost it. Looks like he was going through the, see if I can find where it was. The 2nd chicane maybe, has put it in the wall, trying to make up that time after the pit stop.
Ouch. Well, look, let's just go through the order at the moment. So Gene Fittis is leading the race. 2nd is Sergio Mura. Sonny Canton is 3rd. Robert Hartley has moved up into 4th position, and David Hansen, as you mentioned, is now in 5th position, and they are followed by Michelle Dyke, Eric Garcia, Roy Fisser, and Tom Ryder. Amjad Yaman has moved from virtually last to be in our 10th place, so great drive there from, and as we see, David Hampson just launched his car over the ripple strip there in the chicane, and he got away with that. He didn't get a slowdown, or he didn't even get damage to his car, because you can damage a car over these ripple strips here, Bill.
You look at David Hampson there, having a great run, running in 6th place right now, just ahead of Eric Garcia. A couple shout-outs to some of the drivers we thought would do good. We talked about Yaman. He's up 18 spots into 10th. Not so much luck for Richard Losper. Started 21st, only up to 18th position right now, right behind newcomer Scott Lang. Of course, Richard Losper, a 2-time champion, not able to get his footing under him.
Okay,
It's
Bill,
Eklund, sorry.
Yeah, we got to get this right. Richard Losper would love to be the 2-time champion. He's not. We are talking about Richard Eklund.
Well, there goes Eklund. Gets the pass done there on Lang, and apologize there to Richard. Both Richards.
Okay, let's go back here to the front. Sonny Kanchan in 3rd place. Sonny Kanchan was in contention for the win for the most of last week at Spa. Did not get it done. Pipped at the post by, indeed, none other than Amjad Yaman. He's in 3rd place, a little way off the pace at the moment, which is quite unusual. Gene Fiddy's showing the way, Bill. Very good drive from Gene Fiddy's once again. Can he sustain it, though? He has become the John Allen of these races. He starts well and rarely has managed to finish.
Well, he's being chased by a veteran of the series, Sergio Mora. We talked about it in the pre-race show. He hasn't been around much the last 2 seasons. Does sit 4th in the all-time win list with 9 wins and has 40 starts under his belt. So he certainly knows how to get it done. And Mora continues to close up on the back of Fittis. I think we're going to have a pass for the lead here pretty soon. One thing to mention here, Richard, while there are a lot of chicanes here at Zolder, at least we're running the alternate layout, the alternate configuration that takes out that final chicane, gives the track a little more flow. In fact, we'll talk about it right now. Maybe we can follow these leaders all the way around. You'll see they do the cutoff here as they work down through the parking lot area, entering close to where the pit entrance is, and then they don't have to do the chicane. They can kind of veer off, take the little cutoff, a little simpler to get back onto the main straight. There they go across right now, back out on the main straight, a little easier.
It is a little easier. I have heard it said from some of the diehards from around Belgium that they prefer the Grand Prix version of the track, which has yet another chicane. But certainly this does make it a little easier. And this first part of the course here, where we see Sergio Mora and Gene Fiddy's now, is quite flowing. The problem starts after you go down the straightaway, where they go here now through turn 4 here, down towards the first chicane. That first chicane has got to be a rival of one that I can remember from, I think it is probably Montreal. Is the only one that I can think of that has got anything like it. But there's a pass for the lead, Bill. Sergio Mora has just taken over the lead from Gene Fiddy's.
But the Australian is not done. It's the Portuguese against the Aussie. Right now, the veteran out in front. That's Sergio Mora. Fittis looking for some way to get around him as they go through the first chicane. Fittis right behind him. No slowdown penalties there. Look at all the dust that's out there. Actually, that was the second chicane they just went through. Look at all the sand that's been put out on the track as they work their way around the back half of the track now. Your new leader, Sergio Mora. It's not official till he gets to the start-finish line to finish up lap number 5, but I think he's probably going to get that done. Welcome back to the series, Mr. Mora.
Yes, and Sergio has been practicing. I've seen him in some of the official races as well. So Sergio is back with a vengeance. Behind them, Bill, we have Sonny Kanchan and Robert Hartley. Robert Hartley, very steady driver, doing very well. Just following, shadowing Sonny Kanchan at the moment. And I think these two are slowly starting to catch up with the front pair there of Sergio Mora, Gene Fiddy's. And just behind them in 5th position, 5th and 6th really, we've got Michel van Dijk and Eric Garcia. So a lot of racing to happen, pit stops to come still in this race. Let's check in further back and see what's happening.
Let's go back to David Hampson as he's just being passed by Tuan Tran. Now, we know Tran from the Absolute Beginner Series, where he's really, really, really good in the open-wheel skippy car. Doesn't quite have the same dominance that he has in these cars with fenders, but a nice job from Tran. He gets around Hampson, moving up now into 11th spot. Excellent stuff from Tuan Tran there. Let's go to Amjad Yaman
and have a look at what he's up to as he goes off track. Just as we come to him, he is now Amjad Yaman in 9th position, moved up one more position. Tom Rajay up ahead of him, I believe, and Roy Visser. So he's slowly getting towards that top 5. Let's hope he makes it. And the other one I want to follow, the other driver, is indeed Richard Eklund, who's still way back there in that, is it a red car that I'm seeing? I'm not colorblind. I do believe that is a red car. However, let me say that he's got a long way to go to get anywhere close to the front.
Your leaders stay the same, and actually Morris starts to pull out a little bit, getting a little bit more of a distance on Fittis. Fittis trying to hang with him. Remember, there is a pit stop that can all change when that happens. Interval is about a second over Fittis. Fittis then with about another 1.5 second lead back to 3rd place Katchen. Katchen, though, certainly has the pace and plenty of time to get up there to the leaders. Having a great run is Robert Hartley, kind of a newcomer to the series, raced a lot last season, really his sophomore entry into this season, and doing very well. Certainly has the speed to win this thing. Still looking for his first win, though. Now we got a nice battle for 7th position. Richard, what are we looking at there? Oh, we just see it done. That was Ratche gets around Visser.
Yes, I was just going to say Tom Ratche doing a great job there. Got around Roy Visser, as you mentioned. And let's go and have a look at Tom Ratche in the green. No, he's got a yellow car. Why is my trading paints not working here, Bill?
Derek Holland, a veteran of the series, just kind of looped it coming out of the final corner, put it on the inside wall on the main straight. He was running well down the order, but always likes to finish, always a threat to win the Ironman. Not going to have it today, though. Be lucky to finish on the lead lap now.
Yeah, that's attrition on this track. Let's go back now and have a look at Travis Schwenke, who got a very early setback. Travis actually fancied himself. He qualified well, and he was well up there near the front at the start of the race. He is now back here, Travis Schwenke, in 9th position, behind Roy Visser, and of course in front of him as well, Tom Rajay. So let's see what he can do against those guys. Slowly making his way forward. Still a fair number of laps to go before the race ends, and indeed before the pit stop as well. So let us see what happens. 19 laps to go, I'm seeing here.
We ride on board with Dr. Ramjet looking up ahead of Travis Schwenke. That battle is for 9th position. Remember, Amjad Yaman was not able to put in a clean lap during qualifying, which means that he started way at the back. Doesn't mean he wasn't fast. It just means he couldn't get an official lap time in. So now he's working on the back of Schwenke. Both of these drivers very, very, very serviceable, as Richard Losper would say. Let's see if Yaman can get a run. Nope, being very patient.
Yeah, and he's caught up to Travis Schwenke and shadowing him at the moment. I have the greatest respect for Amjad Yaman as a driver of just about any car. We've seen him in a number of different cars, GT3 cars. We've seen him in the Mustang. Now we're seeing him in the MX-5 again. He's come back to the MX-5. Very, very, very good driver. And let's see if he can make his way forward. In fact, I have no doubt that he will make his way further forward.
And as talented as he is on the track, he is equally as talented behind the mixing console here for GSRC, as he does a lot of the directing duties for many of our broadcasts. Takes away from his practice time. He says he's not quite as sharp as he used to be. Still looks pretty good to me as he's just really pestering that car ahead of them of Schwenke.
Okay, let's go now back to the front again here, where we see that slowly but surely the lead that Gene Fittis had on Sonny Canton, 2nd to 3rd place, has been cut down. Sonny Canton now getting a good look. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Gene Fittis as they go to end another lap. 18 laps to go after this, and out front Sergio Mora. What a great drive from him early in this race.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Kanchan is actually catching Fittis as much as Fittis is falling back into the clutches as Kanchan, because Sergio Mora has pulled away, like Richard just said. So now, not only Kanchan coming into the mix, but then the guy running in 4th is Robert Hartley. So we're going to have a 3-car battle for 2nd in just a few laps, I would think. Still running a great race. Let's go ahead and put the camera real quick on Eric Garcia, the California driver. Really has picked up his pace. Now a legitimate top 5 out there. Great job from Eric Garcia. So many season after season we see him running in like between 10th and 20th. He's really picked up his tempo.
Yeah, and you know what? the new MX-5, there's gone through a number of changes since it was introduced at the beginning of 2016, and some of the drivers like the changes, some hate the changes, but I want to tell you that the car has become more stable. The car's actually become faster in the latest iteration of the car, and a driver like Eric Garcia has obviously taken a great liking to it. He is fast. He is doing very well. He did well last week at Spa, and it's great to see a veteran of this series, Bill, doing so well. I love it.
Look at this battle we have on screen right now, our director found, with Benjamin Nelson in the mix, with Joe McDonald ahead of him, Scott Lang behind him. It's really a 5-car battle there. The leader of the train is Joseph Arrow, the Italian driver who has so much experience, over 120 races in this season, in this series. Joe McDonald behind him. Then the battle, Nelson being looked at by Lang, and watching the whole thing is Jeroen Ursum.
And in front of those guys, we've got Richard Eklund moving forward. Richard Eklund is now in 14th place, so he's moved up. He's just behind Eric Nannings, who is a new driver. I don't know this gentleman. And then, of course, David Hansen in front of them. So we'll keep an eye on Richard Eklund, past champion. Twice, indeed, he won the series. So certainly he's one to watch going forward.
Eklund gets that pass made on the newcomer, Eric Nannings. So Eklund now moves up into 13th position on his way up. Not having quite the charts that Yaman is having, but still very good. Sorry, director, if I fooled you there when I took you back to the wrong battle. You did a good job of following me anyway. A lot of good fighting going on in the back 20, back half of the 20.
And let's go back to the front now. Robert Hartley, I'm driving with. He's behind Sonny Canchin. Looks as if these two have caught up with Gene Fiddes. And the battle is on now. Gene Fiddes is not an easy driver to pass. He is very aggressive, Gene Fiddes, and he's young. And it's going to be quite interesting to see as they go side by side there. Canchin with Fiddes. Going to the hairpin, they go to the right-hander. Gene Fiddes gives it up rather quietly. They'll go now to the alternate version of the track, that little loop there, which is almost flat out. But now Gene Fiddes has got to look behind him, because here comes Robert Hartley.
Fiddes and Ketchen, both from Australia, probably talking to each other in the Australian language so nobody else can understand them as they work out their plans for this race.
And you've got a good try there, Bill. The Australian language is indeed slightly different from the one that they speak in the US. But let me tell you that, first of all, you got it wrong. Gene Fiddes is from New Zealand.
Oh, my goodness.
It is another country, you know.
A Kiwi. Those are fighting
Yes,
words.
he
Sorry
is.
about that, Gene.
Yeah, Gene Fiddes, and this guy, we certainly got to take our hats off to Gene Fiddes. He's done so well since entering the series. Barely a few months ago, this guy had not even seen iRacing, and here he is mixing it up with the veterans like Sonny Canchin and Robert Hartley now. I want to go back to Michel van Dijk. Now, Michel was one of those drivers that told me he loves this track. And it's showing, Bill. He is sitting at the moment in, what is that, 6th position? Yes, 6th position indeed. He's a little way off the lead, about 15, 17 seconds off the leaders. But certainly that's a good drive from Michel early.
As you can see, some drivers follow me. You see Rathie back there a little bit farther. Hey, let's quickly go back to our two-time champion, Richard Eklund. Let's make sure we get the right name there. He's now managed to get around all the nonsense that was going up in front of him. He got around Nanning, McDonald, he got around Nelson, Lang, Ursum, Arrow, made it all the way through there, and now he's trying to run down the top 10.
Yes, sir, and he's 39, about 40 seconds back, so he's got his work cut out to get into that top 10. But if anyone has the talent to do that, it is Richard Eklund. I would love to have seen him right up the front there, mixing it with the likes of Sergio Mura and Sonny Canchin, etc. But maybe not this race. He's got to make he's got to get into the qualifying to be able to do that. So let's go back now to the front. I want to put the camera on Sergio Mura. He is coming up on lap traffic by the looks of it, leading this race, Bill, and leading it well.
Now, a few of the drivers have come in for a pit stop. Right now, it's Roy Visser. Remember, Visser was running up inside the top 10, so we have to keep an eye on him that he's not going to pull a fast one on us. The drivers are driving with 30% fuel. Makes that pit window about, if you break the race down into thirds, it's about the middle third of the race is the pit window. So as we're on 25 laps, 12 laps in, we're about the halfway mark. Yeah, we are well into the pit window right now.
Yes, indeed. And, we often talk about the pit stops. You get the what do you call it? The reveal and feel or something like that, which is a kind of a late stop. Yeah. And then you get the ones who go early. So
my dad used to call it the early peel, late reveal, where you peel off early into the pits, and then when it's all said and done, what's revealed? Well, there he is. Where did he come from? And that's what we still used to see that a lot from three-time champion Jan Koeman was famous for that. Not sure if Visser has the pace to pull it off, but certainly somebody you'll have to keep an eye on when these rest of the drivers start to pit. We have a nice battle on screen. Look at that. That's that maize-colored car of Ratche. I know that one. He's fighting with, is that Van Dijk he's in the battle? No, it's Schwenke.
Schwenke. There's a battle between Tom Ratche and Travis Schwenke. Travis has got the better of Tom Ratche at the moment. That moves Travis up into about 7th position.
The question is, Schwenke was in a battle with Yaman. What happened to Amjad Yaman?
He's just a little way back. He's behind Tom Ratche at the moment. So, no, not seeing him. Maybe he's gone into the pits, Bill.
We're looking to see if we can find what happened to Amjad. He was fighting up there with those guys. See if we can find it. Must have happened a while ago.
Bill, I'm not seeing him in the simulation at all. He is showing up as being out of the race. That is a big blow. Let's see if we can get that on replay.
I'm finding it way back on lap number 12 going through. We've got it. Here we go. It's after the first chicane.
And he was ahead of Schwenke.
Yeah, he just... Boy, he's a better driver than what I saw. He just kind of nosed it right into the wall. Here we go. We're marching on board with Yaman now. He's behind. This is lap 12, about a lap ago. We'll stay on this because this is important. This is your overall champion right now, your points leader. Watch this. He goes through here, catches the second. I guess it just got loose and he couldn't straighten it out. I felt the car from that replay.
That first chicane, Bill. It's catching a lot of the guys out. The number of slowdowns that we see in that first chicane, and also it's so easy to get loose. You've got those raised sleeping policemen, I think they call them, on both sides of the track there. And if you go over that, the car actually gets very, very loose, and the wall could be your friend very easily, as Joe likes to say.
Now, keep in mind, that'll have huge ramifications in regards to the points. Remember, there are 3 what they call no-show compensations. That means you get compensated if you do not show up. But if you crash, everything you do counts. That's not dropped races. It's no-show compensation. So, Amjad, this result is going to count on his record.
And going back to the front here, Bill, it looks like Gene Fiddes has fought back. Sonny Kanjan is now back in 3rd position, and Fiddes is back in 2nd. So while these guys are battling here for 2nd, 3rd, and of course Hartley down in 4th position there, Sergio Mura is doing the great escape at just getting away from these guys. He's got a lead of about more than 5 seconds at the moment on 2nd place. So Robert Hartley in 4th place, about 6.5 seconds back. So a good race there from Sergio Mura.
Let's look at Eric Garcia, who just made his pit stop. He's the leading driver of all the guys who've pitted. Let's see if he gets out ahead of Visser. Visser just going across the start-finish line right now. I believe Garcia is going to get way out in front. It's so hard to tell here. There he comes out. This has such a this rambling pit entrance where it kind of takes you through the countryside of Belgium before it sends you back out onto the track. But Garcia is back out now, currently running in 9th position, but the lead car of everyone who has pitted.
And we are getting information that Richard Eklund had a problem as well. So let's see what happened to Richard Eklund.
Looks like it was turn 4, the one that leads down the main straight. Looks like he just got loose, tried to straighten it up, then put it into the sand. I don't think he hit the wall. There you see him getting back out onto the track in that blue and red Mazda machine.
And now, Bill, okay, so we see that on replay. Everyone having lots of problems here on this track with no flow. But let's go and have a look now at Travis Schwenke. And in front of him, Michel van Dijk is behind. So he must have gone into the pits by the looks of it. Yes, he is. Michel van Dijk in the pits.
He's in the pits now, and now just coming out. Oh, that's corner, but Van Dijk is a front runner, so we'll see how he comes out in relationship to Garcia. They were running pretty close to each other, and let me say, Garcia's going by him right now. No, oh, there he is. Garcia's just going on to the start-finish line right now. Let's see if Van Dijk starts to roll. Now he's rolling. This will be close.
Yep, Van Dijk coming out. This is, as you say, quite an awkward exit from the pits. And you get dumped right onto that section, that flowing section of the track, the only flowing section on this track. Now he comes out onto the track proper, where indeed is
just
Garcia.
About 10 car lengths behind him, so Van Dijk gets that done.
Nice job from Michel van Dijk. He's done his pit stop, 11 laps to go. So he's good to go for the rest of this race. Let's go back to the battle between Kanchan and Fiddies. I think Kanchan, as they just come up now to finish another lap, and that would be lap 15 that they're finishing. They'll start lap 16 with 10 laps to go in the race still. Now these guys have not made a pit stop yet. A whole bunch of the front runners at this point have not made a pit stop, including our leader Sergio Murabil. So it's going to be interesting to see when these guys choose to pit.
Our benchmark is right now Michel van Dijk, leading driver of everybody who has pitted. Fittis was able to get back around. If I remember right, Kanchan got around Fittis, and then Fittis must have got back around Kanchan. As they run through, boy, they really pushed the envelope there, going off into the beach to that. I think that's corner 4, if I count my corners right. It is 4, going into this chicane.
Yeah, turn 4, that is.
Now they're coming up on the back of a back marker here. This is Eric Nannings. He's new to the series. Let's see if he knows how to get out of the way. Or just hold your line. Let's see. This could be interesting. This is a guy who's just getting used to it. Nothing he can do there, no problem. Now leave some room. No, he stays on the racing line inside. Might have been able to leave room there. Might have been able to leave room here. And he does. Good job.
And Richard Eklund has just come into the pits. So there's another one of the guys who've made their pit stop. Tuan Tran has made their pit stop. So really, there's only about 5 guys. All of them right in the lead of this race, obviously, at the moment. But Sergio Mura is the one I'm watching. I want to see when he comes in to make his pit stop. And of course, the guys behind him, Gene Fiddy, Sonny Kanchan, Robert Hartley, Travis Schwenke, and indeed Tom Raja have not made their pit stop yet. And Mura's in.
Now, one of the problems Mora has had in the past, and he's a veteran, but he still has trouble with these pit stop times. He's cost himself, even though he has 9 wins already, he could probably have double-digit wins if he would be a better stopper. He's been away from the series for a while. Let's see if he's got this down.
Yeah, got the camera on him at the moment. He's approaching his pit stall. He's stopping in his pit stall now.
Fittis and Kanchan also in.
Everyone's in.
Hartley
All
is in.
All the top guys are in right now. Kanchan's just hit his pit stall. Fittis has hit his pit stall. Basically, identically, they got into their pit stall. So, who's going to be out first of these lot? This could be the race win right here, Bill. Kanchan done. And Mura done. Fittis still sitting there.
Okay, the defending and reigning champion right now in Sonny Kanchan is out in front of Mora. That doesn't mean that Mora had a slow pit stop. We've seen guys try to short fill these. Kanchan probably thought, boy, I don't have the pace to get around Sergio. I'll try to do it in the pit lane. But did he take enough fuel?
That's the point. So far, we've seen that Kanchan's been pretty well on the money.
Big loser. Let's go back to Fittis. Big loser is Fittis as Garcia jumps him in the pit. In a big battle now. Garcia and Fittis side by side with looking on is Michel van Dijk. A 3-way battle. Michel looking to go inside now of Garcia. Garcia, the big loser there, drops both those positions. Great racing going on. Just coming out of the pits. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Bill, it just goes to show where the...
And look, let's go to the lead. Pass for the lead right now. Mora looking on the inside. Not going to get it. He's still not giving up the ghost. Boy, he's right on the tail of Kanchan. Can't get it done.
Yeah, Mora and Kanchan, that's the battle for the lead. My point was going to be about Gene Fittis. Gene Fittis just showed some of his inexperience right there. He took way longer than the other two to get his pit stop done. But back to the battle here in front. Sonny Canton now is the leader of this race, and we know that once Sonny Canton hits the lead, Bill, very difficult to take that away from him. But if anyone can do it, it will be indeed Sergio Moura. And now I want to find out, where is Robert Hartley in relation to this?
He has him inside, and here comes Look at Catchin now, trying to make that car as wide as he can. Mora's going to move to the outside. It's a left-hander here off this main straight, so Moura is on the outside, Catchin in the preferred position. Moura tries to keep the power down on the outside. What a great run. He has momentum. He puts it in the beach. He's able to gather back up. It looks like he's going to have the lead going into 2. Catch is going to have to surrender it, take second position, watching all the excitement behind him, and getting into the hut now with that fighting is the American Robert Hartley.
That's correct. I was wondering where Robert Hartley was, and Robert Hartley is part of this battle now. This is indeed the top 3 guys at the moment. Sergio Moura, Sonny Canton, and Robert Hartley right there with them as they go towards the first chicane. Terrible chicane this. And I'm pretty sure that virtually every lap the guys are either getting a 1x from iRacing, or in some cases probably a slowdown. But the battle for the lead is on. Robert Hartley sitting in 3rd place, closing up now on Canton as they go through the second chicane. Now they go through the series of right-handers, then they go down to that hairpin, which gets us down into the final section of the track. Sonny Canton just having a bit of a look there, hard braking for the hairpin. Now they go into the section where they go to the alternate part of the track, Bill, and then that's almost flat out. And so let's see what they do here as they go to complete another race. When they're done here, they'll have completed 18 laps with 7 laps to go.
Keep in mind that Canton had that fast pit stop. He may actually be happier in second position if fuel is a consideration. But as he says that, he's going to duck to the inside now, peeking his nose down in there, and he's not going to be able to do it as Moura likes the momentum on the outside. Doesn't get quite the drive that he had the last time they went through there. Looks like he's going to hang on to that position. Canton thinking about going around the outside, and all that fight, Canton gets a little bit loose. Is that going to open the door for Hartley? Nope, but a great 3-car battle going on right now up front.
Yeah, Canton actually tried the over-under there, Bill. Did not work at that point in time because Sergio Moura was ready for it. Sergio Moura making that outside line into turn 1 and 2 there work for him as they come down once again. 7 laps to go. They come down to that first chicane. Some lap traffic in front of them could be a factor. Out of the way is that Derek Holland. Looks like Derek Holland just staying out of the way there, giving the guys the run down to the second chicane. They go to that left-hand sweeper there. Now they break hard for the second chicane. Sergio Moura doing a great job through there, just looping it left, looping it right, and now they go back again towards the hairpin down at the bottom of a sort of a low incline. In front of them, some more lap traffic. So these guys doing the best they can at the moment, hard braking for the hairpin, and they go through to complete yet another lap. Laps are not that long around here, Bill.
No, we'll be done. They're working now lap 19 of 25. Richard, I want you to keep an eye on the lead and absolutely butt in. We have to pay some bills, and that is the 60-second back marker review, thanks to the good guys at Eagle Nest Tavern. We're going to start with the last car I see racing right now. That's Billy Bob Wright, if we can go there. There he is, currently running in 26th position. Up 1 spot from him, we go to 25th spot, and it's 24th in the pits right now is Eric Coleman. We go to the next spot, our direction finds. How about 23rd? Here's Richard Cortland. There's the newcomer for us, having a 23rd, racing in the 787 machine. Up 1 more spot from him, running in 22nd. There's Jeroen Ursum, also in the pits, so we might have some trouble that we don't know about. These guys shouldn't be pitting by now. 21st position, Derek Holland. Oh, these guys were so far back, that they're still trying to make up these laps. All right, now let's go up 1 more spot to 20th position. That's Joseph Arrow. Joseph currently running 3 laps, only 1 lap down. Now we're getting to guys who are really in the hunt. 1 more spot up from then. In 19th position is Al Heaton, a veteran of the series. Look at that in the Heaton Bake Machine. Up into 18th position, it is the guy from Japan, LeVar Boutet. We're going to see him get lapped by the leaders in just a minute. 17th position is going to be, of course, a newcomer, Scott Lang, in a little bit of a battle with the car ahead of him, I believe, of Benjamin Nelson. There we go, the Alabama driver. Up a few more spots. We'll do 15 all the way up to 11 that we can. There's Jerome Jonkers, a newcomer into the series, 14th spot. A little farther up is Joe McDonald, winner of last season's Ironman Award. Up one more spot, we go to 13th, and that is Eric Nannings, the newcomer, 12th and 11th position, and we're going to be all done. 12th is going to be David Hampson, and then 11th spot is going to be our two-time champion, Richard Eklund. There you have it, Eagle Nest Tavern, 67 back marker salute. Richard, what do you got up front?
Yeah, been keeping my eye on Sergio Mura and Sonny Canton and also Robert Hartley. Sonny has had a bit of a look. Doesn't look like he's serious about making the pass now. He's got to choose the place where he tries to make the pass. Sergio Mura has managed to keep him at bay. Sergio Mura very good through the turn 1 there. And as they go into that right-hand sweeper at turns 2 and then heading off into turn 3 and of course now down to this tighter turn number 4 before the first chicane. So Sergio Mura very good through here. Sonny Canton just shadowing him at the moment. Sonny just getting off into the weeds a little bit there, into the gravel I should say. And now they head down to the chicane once again. Sonny just keeping an eye here on Sergio Mura. They go through. Here comes Sonny Canton. Oh, that was a chance there. Sergio Mura got a little bit uneasily through there, but Sonny Canton will now, they go side by side, Bill, down towards the second chicane, and they're not going to touch. Here comes Robert Hartley. He's getting a run now on Sonny Canton. Sonny, I have to say, Sonny and Sergio Mura is one of our teammates. We are not, Sonny will not do anything to damage his car. Sonny always a fair racer, but they got to be careful, Bill, because Robert Hartley is like the cougar at the back there waiting to pounce.
Robert Hartley, the cougar. Sergio Mura and Sonny Ketchen, the young studs up ahead. Ketchen looking to see if he can peek to the inside. Of course, Canton and Mura, both drivers for Asbury Motorsports, and they're not going to hit each other like Richard said. Now, if Mura was racing for 49 Motorsports, that might be a different thing. No, that's not how Asbury preaches. That's not how they race. Hey, as we keep an eye on that, let's give a quick shout out to the driver running in 4th position right now, Gene Fittis. He's fallen back a little bit. Remember, when he came out of the pits, he was able to get around some of the guys he was racing with. That would be Garcia and Van Dyke. Garcia has got back around Van Dyke now, running in another top 5 for Eric Garcia. Great job from him.
Yeah, Gene Fittis, due to that long pit stop of his, is sitting about 10 seconds back from the leaders, and that 10 seconds, Bill, was lost in the pits.
Let's go to the lead right now. As now, look at Mora is going to give Fittis the inside here. I'm sorry, give Ketchen the inside through the part of the chicane, but then Mora gets the preferred position on the second half of the chicane. Richard, is that what you would like to do? Is what Mora just did right there? Surrender the left side and then have the better run out the second part of the chicane.
Yeah. Very experienced driver, Sergio Mura, is not going to be caught out by some, clever or half-clever move from anybody. And Sonny Canton, also a very experienced driver. This is a cat-and-mouse game, Bill. I still have that small question mark on particularly Sonny Canton. Did he take enough fuel?
Well, certainly running behind Mora will help him. And the fact that he looks like he wants the lead, he's probably got this figured out. And as we talked about, Mora probably not the best calculator of fuel. He's a physical education teacher in Portugal. What he likes to do is those kids who can't climb the rope, the kids with glasses that aren't very good, what he likes to do is sign them up. He gives them a better grade in PE if they will help him calculate his pit strategy. So maybe that's what he's been doing. So far, it seems to be working for him as he's out in front, catching in second. Hartley falling off the pace a bit.
Yeah, the Cougar has fallen off the pace. He's now just dropped back. He must have had a slowdown or something, but he's dropped back a couple of seconds off the leaders. At the moment, it's a 2-car race for the lead with Sonny Canton and Sergio Mura. Sergio, can he hold on? There's only a matter of 3 laps to go. They're on lap 23. When they finish here, Bill, it'll be 2 laps to go. A bit of slow traffic in front of them still. So that could be a factor, but at the moment, it looks as if Sonny Canton is sitting there in second place. He's got a good look at at Sergio Mura. He knows exactly what Sergio can do, and he knows, of course, what he can do. And the big question is, where will he try to make his move? Because make no mistake, Sergio's not going to get away from him, so he's going to try a move. But he's only got 2 laps left to do it in.
And I think traffic is going to come into play here as he has Benjamin Nelson. He's a veteran. He knows how to get out of the way. And so is Billy Bob Wright. These guys should know how to do it. Should not be able to, should not really affect the leaders. They're not even battling for position. Nelson and Wright are not even fighting. So I expect them to get out of the way comfortably. Really 2 places to pass. One that we've seen so far is at the end of this main straight going into the left-hander in turn 1. And there you see Wright pulling off to the side, getting out of the way of the leaders. Nelson ducking to the inside and braking, getting out of the way. Nice job. Bear claws for you guys at the next back marker meeting, although you guys really aren't eligible. They negotiate through that first corner. Now they go around the backside. Richard, the next passing zone for Ketchen would probably be after that long straight going into the first chicane.
Yeah, at the moment, Sergio Mura has got him well and truly covered. Sergio Mura got a little break there of about 0.6 of a second, which is very, very handy in a tight track like this, 0.6 of a second. And Sonny Ketchen has actually fallen a little back from a lap or 2 ago. Now they come towards the first chicane. Sergio Mura quite good through this chicane, a little better, I think, than Sonny Ketchen through the chicanes. So Sonny has got to close up a lot more to be in a position to attack Sergio Mura, which he's not doing at the moment. The next lap will be the last one, as we see a replay there. Oh, no, forget about the replay for the moment. Sonny Ketchen is caught right up. He's challenging now. They go side by side, coming down towards the hairpin. Sonny Ketchen's got the preferred line on the inside. Late braking there from Sergio Mura, but he's got to give it up. He hasn't given it up quite yet. He's got the preferred line into the alternate section of the course, but they're side by side. Bell, over to you. This is the last lap coming up.
Look at the momentum that Mora got off of that final corner, and Ketchen has to get it up. They go through the cutoff section. Mora out in front as they cross the line right now. There'll be 1 lap to go. We're going to stay on the leaders from here on out unless Martians attack somewhere in corner 5. Right now, Mora seems to be slowing. Is he out of fuel? Maybe got a slowdown penalty. Ketchen now has taken the lead. Mora trying to get back as much as he can. Looks like the slowdown penalty is not going to be too costly. He continues to serve it though, and now he's back in it. Where could he have gotten that slowdown penalty? Could have been at the cutoffs or through maybe the last chicane. It looks like a mistake is going to cost the veteran the race. Out in front now is Sonny Ketchen as he can avoid the same kind of illness that got to Sergio. They work through corner 4. He's just got a couple more chicanes to go. Then around the back half of the track, and the Australian's going to bring it home with a win. He's got a large lead now. What a heartbreak for the Portuguese driver.
Yeah, the slowdown got him caught out. Now he goes wide again, coming out of the first chicane there. All falling apart at the moment for Sergio Mura as he pushes hard. He's feeling his car out, gave it a bit of a wiggle to see if the car is good, because you can get damage from these very high curbs. And he's chasing, trying to get to Sonny Ketchen. I don't believe he's anywhere close enough to get there unless we have an unfortunate slowdown or something going wrong with Sonny Ketchen. Sonny Ketchen will win this race. They go to the hairpin now for the last time. Bill, now they come to the only a matter of 2 corners left for the end of this race. Back to you.
And I'll call it here at the very end, round number 2. Almost finished. Sonny Ketchen with a last lap pass on a slowdown penalty from the Portuguese driver Sergio Mora. The winner of round number 2 from Zolder in the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour Season 12 is Sonny Ketchen. Mora gets second position. It should be noted that Eric Garcia was able to get around Robert Hartley. Garcia gonna get a podium spot. Hartley struggling. Hartley is out of fuel, losing positions right now. He's going to lose a position. Can he lip it across? Let's stay on Hartley. He's trying to lip it across.
Oh dear,
Who's going to be next to get there?
Being passed by everybody.
But they're all a lap down. I think he's going to get there still. I think he gets 4th position. Oh, Hartley is all the way down to 8th. Guys,
yeah, 7th at the moment, but everybody passing him. Oh dear. He's still trying to get to the line. Let's hope that he can manage it. He might do that. That is the saddest thing to see. He's not going to try. Bill is not going to try. He's heading towards the pits.
Yeah, he didn't even take the cutoff lane. I don't think he has enough to get there. Hartley going to finish, I guess, the last car on the lead lap. That's going to drop him all the way down to 16th. That's a heartbreak.
Yeah, that is terrible. And
coming across now, I'm looking at Richard Eklund just working that last chicane, coming across now, going to get 11th. 12th position to Gene Fittis. Not sure what happened to Gene. I know he had some trouble. He says, I don't know what happened. I thought I gave you enough room. Fittis apparently had some trouble.
Yep, and Schwenke, I think he's talking to them, and Sonny Kenton also having a few things to say. I might listen in, eavesdrop on these guys and hear what they have to say.
They were reminding drivers that there were still drivers finishing up their last lap to keep the talking down. My goodness, some heartbreak for Sergio Mora, heartbreak for Hartley, and it looks like Fittis also had some trouble. Well, what we're going to do right now is take a short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We'll be back in a few to do the entire standings, talk to drivers, and then wrap it up for the MX-5 World Tour Season 12, round number 2 from Zolder. Back in a few. Bill Soups on and Richard Losper here with the Global Sim Racing Channel calling the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour Season 12 Round 2 from Zolder. And boy, it was exciting. Let's run down your entire order of finish right now. Coming off a second place at Spa, he's going to get the win today. Sonny Ketchen, the reigning and defending champion. Welcome back to the series, Sergio Moria. Led most of the way. Had to cut the course penalty with, oh my goodness, on the last corner of the next to last lap. Cost you the win. Eric Garcia, the California driver, a podium position in third. He is on fire. Travis Schwenke, a fourth place position. The Bay State Hammer, Tom Ratty, looking at a top 5. Tuan Tran, racing for Mama Jean Racing. Good to see him carry over some of the success from the Absolute Beginner League and the Skippies into this series, a 6th place finish. Roy Visser, 7th. Michelle Van Dyke in 8th. Richard Eklund came all the way from 21st position into 9th. Eric Nannings, a newcomer into the series, in 10th. Richard, who do you got?
Well, in 11th place, we have David Hampson. Joe McDonald got 12th place. Scott Lang got 13th place. Then the newcomer, Jeroen Jonkers, he finished up in 14th place. Robert Hartley with the hard break. No fuel at the end of the race there. He got 15th. Gene Fedis, who got into a few problems towards the end of the race, he got 16th place. Benjamin Nelson finished in 17th. Levar Boutte in 18th. Al Heaton in 19th. And veteran Joseph Aero in 20th place. Bill?
Just to update you, Robert Hartley was running out of fuel. I think Fittis caught him going into the first chicane on the last lap. They got together. Both drivers finished one lap down. Derek Holland hits blackjack. Richard Cortland in the double deuce position. Jeroen Ursum, not a top 10 today, 23rd for him. Billy Bob Wright in the double dozen spot. Eric Coleman and Amjad Yaman in 25th and 26th. Yaman coming off a win at Spa, not able to follow it up today as he got into some early trouble. 27th for Ralph Just. Patrick Fliss, another guy having trouble, 28th spot. Can't seem to get any traction today. Peter Balassa in 29th. By the way, Fliss started on the pole. Boy. And Thomas Zabo. I'm not sure if Zabo actually took the grid, showing him in 30th. I don't remember calling his name, so he may not have gridded out there today. Okay, there you have it. 29 drivers putting in lap times with the Hungarian driver Thomas Zabo in 30th. Let's go ahead and get some interviews in here. Richard, I'm going to let you talk to your country mate, and winner today would be Sonny Ketchen. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sonny, you got a copy?
Yes, can you hear me? Hey, Rich.
I've got you, Sonny. Sonny, congratulations on a win. I have to say, from where we were sitting in the booth here, it looked dicey. Sergio Mura had your measure. Did you? Were you confident you could grab the win, or did you think you might have to settle for second place?
The last lap, Sergio was very fast as always, and it was a pleasure racing him. He didn't make too many mistakes except for the last lap, but the thing was he had the advantage in the chicanes, but I was catching up to him during the on the straights, the start finish line, and my plan was to pressure him as much as I can. And I think at the end, when we were side by side, the penultimate lap coming out of the last corner, pretty much I had to give up. I thought, oh well, here we go, and unlucky for Sergio, he actually had a slowdown, so there goes the last lap for me. But it was a great race. It was a great pleasure racing Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio unfortunately cut the corner too much on the entry into that last corner there on the second last, on the just before the last lap. But were you? The other question I have for you, Sonny, were you helped by the very cool weather today? It seemed like 18 degrees out on track. That was probably the coolest you guys have practiced in all week.
It certainly didn't help me at the start. I had to adapt a lot, so I ran as many laps I can to get used to the car. We had during the warm-up session, and I made a few adjustments to my liking, and it paid off. I think that's what mattered at the end, but it really wasn't easy, to answer your question, Richard.
Yeah, and the last question I have for you, Sonny, in the pits, you really got the win from that very good pit stop you made there, because you and Sergio, you got out ahead of Sergio actually in the pits, and Gene Fiddies, who had pitted with you guys, he was in about third position at the time. He just sat there forever. So with your pit stop there, were you confident you took enough fuel? Everything was on the green for you there?
Yes, I was confident. Once again, it goes on to the practice sessions we had before during the week, and during the last night as well. I was practicing a lot, entering the pit stop, and also big shout out to Asbury Motorsports, my team. we had great fun sharing our thoughts and also valuable advice from the pit crew chief. Everyone else made it.
Okay, Sonny Kenshin, congratulations. Your first win in season number 12. Probably not your last. Your rival, MJ Yaman, had a bad finish today, so that puts you clear in front in the championship. But it looks like Sergio Mura is back, and we look forward to watching you guys race. Also, Robert Hartley was very close to you guys. He didn't have enough fuel to finish the race, but he's there. And Amjad Yaman will be back, no doubt. So it will be very exciting to watch you guys in action next week when we have race number 3. Congratulations, Sonny, and thank you for speaking to us.
Thanks, Richard and Bill. When I watch the broadcast, it's going to be exciting for sure. And thanks to everyone.
Back to you, Bill.
Okay, there you have it. Your winner today, Sonny Ketchen from Australia. Let's go ahead and talk to two-time champion of the MX-5 World Tour, Richard Eklund. Richard, before we talk about your race, let's just be social here for a minute. I haven't talked to you for a while. How are things going?
Yeah, things have been good with me. I've been busy in the real world, so I can't complain, but it's good to be back.
It's always nice to see you race with us whenever you can. You know, Jan Koeman's 3-time MWT champion used to swear by this line when he would go out into bars. Hello, I'm Jan Koeman's 3-time champion of the MX-5 World Tour. What time do you get off? Have you used anything like that? Have you used that kind of line maybe to see how you can do with the girls?
No, I just tell everybody I'm a driving coach, and that's good enough.
There you go. That'll work. Hey, well, let's go ahead and talk about your race today. You started way back. Let's go right to the very beginning of your session, qualifying. Did you just not get in a good time, or did you have trouble getting in a clean lap?
No, I put in a lap that would have been good for pole, actually, which surprised me because I haven't driven this simulator in I don't know how much, 6 months or something like that. So it was good, except I got a 1X in the last chicane, which I got to slow down too because you put like half a wheel off and you get to slow down. So my next lap was screwed up too. And then lap 1 was good. I gained like 10 positions. I felt like I was giving everybody plenty of room and not being too aggressive. But then going to the last chicane, I don't know who it was. We kind of went too wide through the last chicane, and we both kind of got spun, and I fell back. And then a couple other incidents that weren't really my fault either. So I was ahead of Travis Schwenke after lap 1, and he finished 4th. So I think I could have finished on the podium today. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, starting from the back is always a problem. We did watch you make your way through the field. Actually, I guess you had to do it a couple times. What's your schedule going to be like? A little part-time driver showing up every once in a while? Honor us that way?
Yeah, the way my schedule's set up, I don't really have a set work day. I don't work a certain amount of days per week. It's just whenever my students schedule for flight lessons. But if when I have a free Saturday, I'll be sure to jump on.
Okay, well, good luck to you in the instructing and also here when you show up with us. Always good to have you with us. Richard Eklund finished well down the line, but it doesn't really matter. Once you're a 2-time champion, you can go a long way on that one. Okay, Richard, do we have anybody else today?
Well, let's see who else we have.
I guess not.
I'm guessing no. So back to you for the closing.
Well, that's good. That's because I was out of questions. So Leave me a little extra time. I can ad-lib my way through these closing credits. We'd like to thank everybody here at the Quality Racing Syndicate for organizing this series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the good folks at Tidal Influence. They're an ecological consulting firm based in Long Beach, California, that restores wetlands, saves and studies endangered species, and educates children about our environment. For more information, go to TidalInfluence.com. And you know, just a 90-minute drive and 7,000 feet up from the wetlands is the best-kept secret in the Southern California San Bernardino Mountains, and that is, of course, Green Valley Lake. And while visiting, stop in at Eagle Nest Tavern for a hot meal and a cold drink. Hey, thanks to Six Sideways. They're a full-service motorsports company based in Sebring, Florida, which currently competes in the SCCA Pro Racing Battery Tender Mazda MX-5 Cup Championship. Woo! Six Sideways offers race car builds and preparations, rentals, transportations, maintenance, trackside support, setup service, driving coaching, marketing and media service, race car storage, sock puppet instructions, anything you want, they'll do it to you. Contact them for more with your motorsports needs at sixsideways.com. Measure your life in milliseconds. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music you heard on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. The next race for the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour is in 2 weeks. We get a little break off here, October 1st, and that's going to be round 3 from Monza. If you'd like to find out more about the Global Sim Racing Channel, your best bet is of course globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. And you know, when I mentioned this last week, what I like to do, I just type in GSRC and then YouTube in the Google search, and it gets right there. A lot of good stuff you can find on their YouTube website as well there. And finally, on behalf of my mic mate, Richard Losper, our director, Joe Peak, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. That said, it's time for us to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.